Today we're going to learn a technique called double twining. Now, regular twining is a super important weaving technique. It's what I use to begin all of my tapestries and also to end them. It's also great as a design element and to even out your warp strings if they get squished or pushed apart by thicker wefts. You can learn more about twining and warping and everything you need to know to have a really strong foundation in weaving in my Weaving Foundations class on my website, hellohydrangea.com. So for double twining, we're going to start with any kind of weft and decide how many rows you want because twining works best if you don't have to tie on more material. Unless you're going to be filling this whole thing with twining, then you definitely won't want to have pieces of yarn that is like 100 feet long. So then you can definitely add on more, but if you're just adding a few rows, you can estimate how much material you need. So we're going to begin our double twining with 2 different colors. So each row of double twining will take 3 lengths of your warping area. I'm going to do about 4 rows of double twining, so I'm going to measure this 12 times. Now that does seem like a lot. We're going to go back and fold this in half. So find your 2 ends and fold them in half like that. Now take your folded ends, place them underneath your last warp string, reach through that hole and pull your tails through so that you have a lark's head knot right there on the end. Now you're going to separate so that you have both colors on top and on bottom. So we have a yellow and blue on top and a yellow and blue on bottom. Now I'm going to start by folding these yellows back so that they're out of the way, reaching underneath the next warp string and pulling the blues out. So the blues are pulled underneath the next warp string. Then I'm going to separate those blues, reach under the next warp string, grab these yellows and pull them through. Then I'm going to separate those yellows, reach under the next warp string, pull those blues under again. Separate the blues, reach under, pull the yellows. Separate the yellows, reach under, pull the blues. You get the idea. So just continue doing this. Until you reach the end. Push these 2 rows together and we have 2 rows of twining as if you did each one individually, and they create a little chevron look. To turn around, you're going to combine the 2 colors like this. And because we ended with the yellows going under that last warp string, we're going to hook the weft by bringing the yellows over the second color and then under that last warp string again. And open them up and begin going the other way. the end of our next 2 rows. Let's push them down. If you need to, you can go through and kind of tighten them. And you can see that even our blues are lined up and our yellows are lined up. They're creating zigzag vertical stripes. Let's turn around one more time. So separate the 2 colors. Take the one that ended by going underneath the last warp string, go over the warp, and then under that warp string again, and separate it. And then start going back this way. And we have enough for one more round of rows going back the way we came. And there you go. These fun little zigzags could just go on forever. And all you had to do was create some twining, but it's much faster when you do double twining, so you get 2 rows accomplished at the same time. If you want to learn more about weaving, visit my website, hellohydrangea.com. Grab my Weaving Foundations class. I also have lots of other types of weaving classes on there. I also have a beginner's weaving kit that includes this loom, a bunch of yarns that are my favorite yarns, needle, warp thread, and the option to get my Weaving Foundations class if you're a brand new beginner. Or even if you've been weaving for a while, it's definitely helpful to get your foundations really rock solid so you can move on to the intermediate and advanced skills of weaving. I also have written 2 books on weaving, and I have large and extra large adjustable looms on my website, so come visit me at hellohydrangea.com.